January 15th, 2024, at 12:36, and I lost my son in my arms.
Take us, walk us through that day you lost Zaza.
Mm.
What happened on that day?
You wake up one day on a sunny, beautiful day to go to the beach with your kids, and so you have your beach bag, and by the time you come back home, you come with a body bag. Oh my goodness. My son died a violent death coming from me because I tried to save him. I tried, yo. I tried, yo.
You did try.
I tried, yo.
The Last Breath, A Father's Grief, A Nation's Wake-Up Call, featuring Brian Bwoga, founder of Zaza's Legacy, Choking Prevention Australia. What happens when your worst fear as a parent becomes your reality? When your arms, once a cradle of life, becomes the last place your child takes their final breath. In this heart-wrenching episode of Daring Different, we meet Brian Bwoga, a grieving father, an advocate, a man who bore his son into the world and held him as he left it. From burying his own child after a tragic choking accident to founding a movement that could save countless lives. This is a story of unimaginable pain, brutal truth, and purpose born from loss. It's not just an interview, it is a reckoning. And it is a call to every parent, policymaker, and human being who dares to care. Welcome, Brian. How are you?
Church, I'm good. How are you going?
Okay, I'm good. Now, I do know of your story, and it is one of unimaginable pain, but at the same time, it is one of resilience and it is one of purpose. So when I think of someone who would be the definition of what daring different means, no one else comes to mind but you. So I'm really very grateful for you coming and honoring the platform Daring Different and sharing your story and choosing to impact many lives through this. So thank you for coming again.
Thank you for having me.
What's happening to your voice?
Nah, just listening to everything you're saying, I'm like, girl, you give me flowers, and nah, I do appreciate what you said. It's kind of it's unreal when somebody's talking back to what you're doing, and it's like face to face, and you're sitting back, and you're just like, wow, everybody's saying this about me. I don't see it on myself. Yeah, I guess, like you said, like your platform, probably I'm daring different, and
Yeah, that's who you are.
it's just what it is. Yeah.
Well, we can't wait, and I know the world. I'm so excited about this story today, and I'm just excited about your message and your journey and experience because of what it is. It is raw, it is truthful, it is brutal, but it has its place in the world. And yeah, I do know your story begins long before Zaza, and before that, take us into your childhood. You were born in Kenya. What was life like as the youngest of 7, losing your parents as well?
Oh man. Yeah, taking you way back. Look,
Yeah.
it was life. It was happiness, it was tragedy, it was survival, it was resilient. I guess when you're born in Africa, you have that grit in you, whether you like it or not. You're born with a grit. They put it on your shoulder. You don't know until, because everybody's the same.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to say everybody's always equal when you grow up in a place like Africa. That's
Yes.
just my experience. Yeah, mom was a soldier. Mom was everything. Empathy, the definition of empathy, the definition of Christ-like, like example of a unit in terms of trying to put the family together as a unit. Like you can let everybody break you up, but don't break the family. And I think that's what has has sustained me and my sisters and my family was the unity was installed to us at a younger age. Everybody got their own childhood trauma,
Yeah.
but it just depends on what context. If you come to a Western society, they will try and make sure you think you came from a bad place. But to be honest, for me, it's like everybody was the same.
Yeah.
You don't look at everybody who's different, who's making more, who doesn't make less than you. So everybody's equal. So I think that's tenacity of growing back home. It shapes you, especially
Yeah.
when you come
That's
to
right.
a place like Australia or US or Canada or Britain. I think when you're born home, I call it home, motherland.
Yes.
It gives you that grit that a lot of people don't have. I ain't taking anything from anybody, but
Yeah.
just that's what I feel.
Yeah. And you mentioned being bullied, and on when in your younger times, in your younger age, being unable to read till you were 15, I guess. And what was it like navigating a world without being or being undiagnosed? Because later on you did share that you were diagnosed with dyslexia and the feeling of being less than. Tell us
No,
how.
look, I struggle, and I think
Yeah.
that's you have the benefits of advanced countries, and then also you have the disadvantage of not advanced countries. If you have a condition like a dyslexia where
Yeah.
it's undiagnosed, where people just call you dumb and stupid, right? And you carry that as a badge of honor. And when you're going to school and you can't read and you wonder why everybody's doing it and I can't do it, and you let that affect you
That's right.
for a couple of years. But once I realized once you put a name into something, then people recognize it.
Yeah.
You're no longer that. But at that moment when there's no name attached to something, you can go with anything that anybody says. And kids will be kids. Kids will be cruel, and it's just sometimes part of life. It's not good, but it affects you, and you don't realize it affects you until later on in life, and you try to regain that,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yes. Do you do you do you think being diagnosed later on, did it, what sense of being did it give you? Did it give you any sense of relief? Did it help you
Oh, definitely.
know how to navigate?
No, look, well, like I said, if you don't, if there's something, it just doesn't have to be one particular something. Let's say if you have a disease or you have something new which is untested or unheard of, right? If it doesn't have a name, you can fall through the cracks, right? But once you have a label,
Yeah.
then there's resources, there is material, there's brochures, there's a way
There's
to help you.
treatments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a way to help you navigate it,
Yes.
right?
That's right.
So once you get that name, it's very powerful, and I think that's what it's freedom. Once you get a label into it, it's freedom because now you're no longer uh, a dumb kid or no
Yeah.
longer too dumb. You are a person. You regain that. You take your power back and you say, okay, I got this, but I can't let this define me, right?
That's right.
What else? Everybody's gone through this. What have they done to achieve it? And once you do that, it gives you like a motivation. And
Yes.
for me,
Yeah.
that was a motivation. After that, I was like, come on, let's go. We got this.
And you sold very well after that.
Come
And
on.
you did mention as well, you came from a family of women. You guys are seven, so that will be six ladies, six women. Yeah, five. Oh, okay, five women. So with being surrounded and influenced so much with the women around you, how did that shape you to become the father you are today?
I got a little bit of feminine in me. The reason I'm saying that I grew up around women, so
Yeah,
you bring that gentle, caring part of it, and then seeing my mom the way
that's
she
right.
done brought us up, you bring that. If you're exposed to that for a long time, you grasp and you take a little bit of it to shape you into the way you look at the world in that different concept. I'm not saying that if you are brought around men, you can't have that. But for me, I feel like it was an advantage, but also
That's right.
disadvantage also.
Yeah.
You got the good advantage and the disadvantage because also this is how you don't treat women, right? It's kind of like, come on now.
How was that experience about you becoming a father? How did that happen for you?
Look, I became a dad, now
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Yes.
I never wanted kids, to be honest, at a younger age. I always wanted kids when I was ready. So by the time I got my kids, I did everything that I needed to do outside to be able, when I was ready, then I can have kids. And that's what when I had kids, having me and my ex, we had two beautiful boys. I was ready, and I'm still the luckiest dad with two kids, one in heaven and one
Yeah.
with me.
So, before the kids came,
Yeah.
you got married.
Oh, Lord Christ, Jesus, take the wheel. I know you had to go there.
before, before the kids,
Yeah.
you did get married, right? And what intrigued me about your marriage and that season and that experience was when you mentioned that you had your friend group
Yeah.
and everyone around your friend or your friend group or
Yeah.
everyone around you was either having kids or was getting married.
I
So,
tell you, this is just
so would you say that your marriage was part of that pressure or was part of the circumstances you found yourself in? What was the reason for the marriage? Was it
they
rushed?
until today I don't know what the reason was. Marriage ain't for everybody. I think I was good. My friends, everybody
Yeah.
was getting married. Everybody having kids. You look in the mirror and you be like,
Yeah.
boy, you're taking your time. You don't want to be those like 50-year-old kids and you have a toddler running and you can't catch your breath. I'll be like, damn, I'm an old dad. I can't even catch my breath. So
So,
I thought, look,
yeah.
everything is a learning lesson.
Yes.
It should be serious. It just didn't work out.
So back to fatherhood. You had your first son, Alex.
Yeah, Alex.
When you had Alex, what shifted in your world?
Wow. When you have your first kid, you become gentle. You you go back to your childhood in a flash because this is who you are. This is your copycat, and it's just something that just it makes or break you. So it made me who I am because I was like, now this kid I have to take care of who depends on me, and I have to pass the baton to him. I have to give him, a blueprint in life. This is what life. So whatever didn't work out when I was growing up, or what lacked with my parents, I'll try and be better. But don't delete everything they raised me with. I take the best, I take the worst, and use the best as a blueprint, as a baton, and then the worst that we were lacking, make to rectify it and take ownership. And there's always, I'm a person, I believe in different generation. I don't blame the generation of my parents because they had their own trauma that they had to deal with their own trauma from their past family members.
Yeah.
So I can't say, oh, everything was bad with them. It's just they didn't know the concept of how to deal with those traumas. So for me, what I observe in that is like trying to break that generational trauma. I don't want to be trauma bonding
Yeah.
and pass it down to my kids.
Yeah, yeah. And also then after Alex, we had Zaza. And
Oh,
Zaza came. And you've been very transparent about the emotional struggle around becoming a father again so soon after Alex. That's prior to Zaza. Can you speak into that tension about having to become a dad again
look,
soon after
with
Alex?
Alex was a blessing, Zaza was a blessing, but we had
Yeah.
challenges with Alex. We, with my ex, that I didn't think it was suitable to have another kid,
Yeah.
just because of the struggle which brought with. So we barely loved Alex so much, but there was a lot of challenge. And then when Zaza came, sometimes you think like if maybe you have two kids might help with the struggle. And I think that was the worst concept for me, my point, because to be honest, just to be transparent, I I, I didn't want Zaza.
Yeah.
Not because I didn't love him, I just didn't want him so soon because we had so many challenges. But then Zaza came, but then that was my boy, that was my love, that was the that was him. It was him.
Yeah. And how did it feel at that time when he had come and you've just spoken about stepping into the role of being a stay-at-home dad? Obviously, you were put in a position, not by choice, to be that. So how did it feel when your partner left with these young kids and you, as an African man, as a man with kids, at that time you were at work, how did you instantly fit into the role to become a stay-at-home dad overnight? Take us through that journey.
Nothing to take you. I'm a dad. Simple as that. There's no second
No second
guessing.
guessing.
There's, yes, I'm an African, I'm a whatever stereotype you want to put me. You can call me a pronoun, a noun, or whatever you want to call me. I'm sorry, I was a dad, and a dad just has to do what you got to do for your kids. So there was no transition for me. It was like, we brought them, they didn't choose to be here. So I ain't passing the buck to anybody. It stops with me. So to be honest, I took my responsibility, not to shift it to anybody else. I took it. Yeah, so.
What was the toll? What was the mental toll on
Oh
you
yeah,
during that period?
because your life changes. You have to have a concept of how to manage and learn as you go. They're already here, so you don't have a menu, right?
Yes.
So I made a lot of mistakes. Because you doing something too quick or not knowing this. But then you sit up one night at 2 a.m. where it was just a shitty day with the kids, and you're just like, we're in one of the best countries in the world, right? Internet, start doing research. There's a mother's group outside, 5 minutes walk. I'm gonna take my kids. I'm a strap. We're gonna go. They welcome me on Mondays. And then on Tuesdays, there's another mother's group. Wednesday, there's another one. Thursday, there's another one. Friday, there's a library toddler time. So I'm like, rather than just stick with them during the day, I can go outside, learn. join groups, mothers group, the only male being there. Some of them were resistant, but some of them welcome me with the open arms. And so that's how I learned. That's until today, right now. Most of my friends are from mothers group. And when Zaza passed away, they brought me food. They never let me by myself. So I built that community with them. They welcome me.
So I want to move on to the next chapter of your story, the one that is the foundation and the root of everything that is who you are, which is Zaza's legacy right now. So walk us through that day you lost Zaza. What happened on that day? What was it like?
Whew. I tell you. Life sometimes just comes to you like, wait a minute. Whew, that day. That day is tattooed on my heart. January 15th, 2024, 12:05, 12:36, my bad. Yeah, I lost my son in my arms. You wake up one day on a sunny, beautiful day to go to the beach with your kids, and you're going to the beach, so you have your beach bag, and by the time you come back home, you come with a body bag. I'm just gonna let my spirit speak for itself. Wow. You know, this concept of a perfect day, and who I tell you, and flashbacks are crazy. Anyway, went to Aluka Foreshores in Joondalup, and my friend from Mother's Group, just out of respect, I normally don't say her name or a kid's name, just out of privacy and online trolls and everything. So basically, my son, after coming from the beach, I've always been those dads from Mother's Group. It's time for you to go to bed. They're swimming at the beach. They're everything. They're playing cheerful. And Alex, my son, older son, says, "Dad, can I play 5 minutes?" And one of those times, I'm like, I don't want to be that dad who always say no, because I always say no. If it's time for bedtime, it was 1 o'clock. Zaza was supposed to be in bed. I spend time with Alex. When Zaza's in bed for 1 hour, we have that. I have my lunch. We do all that kind of stuff. And that day, I was just like, Alex asked me, "Dad, can I play 5 more minutes with my friend?" And sometimes I feel like if I didn't say yes, Zaza would have been here. And that's one of the things that kills me until today. Because that 5 minutes, not because of Alex, because I was a dad. And I said, "Woo, son, you can have that 5 minutes." And anyway, so I'm packing my stuff, and Zaza, my beautiful boy, my ride or die, this is my little son. He was sharing grapes with his friend, and unfortunately his friend gave him some grapes, which their friends, they don't cut grapes. And that day, unfortunately, because I have a background in chefing also, so I normally cut. So I assume my son thought it's the same grapes. 22 months old, doesn't know the concept of anything. ate the first one. It was fine. Went back and asked his friend, "Can I have more?" And the friend gives him 4. And then after that, he came and started shaking my leg. He started choking. And I was like, okay, he's choked before. I know what to do. And mind you, in November, I already had my refresher course for first aid. So I was like, I know this. I got this, right? I got it. And eventually, he came and I was able to dislodge one grape. He went out and then came back, the grapes, and he was touching his throat. And I was like, okay, there's something wrong. And literally within 5 minutes, my son was dead. Literally, whew, I did CPR mouth to mouth. I broke his chest. I was trying to save my son, yo. Whew. Whew. My goodness. Oh, Lord. Whew. Whew.
Sorry.
Oh, Jesus. Lord Christ.
Sorry.
It's, I delivered my son. So he gave me the same eyes, the same looks, the way I delivered him. And he gave me after 4 minutes, he was dead.
Was
Good.
Alex?
Alex was there. He witnessed his brother's death. His friends were there. They watched me carry his lifeless body, running towards the defibrillator, trying to see if I can get a tool to help him. Oh, Lord Christ.
Was there any intervention?
Oh,
Ambulance? What was?
ambulance. Come on now. We know ambulance takes more than 20 minutes to show up. We know that.
So sorry about that.
As a parent, a kid shouldn't supposed to be dying in your arms. I feel like you shouldn't be able to do CPR and mouth to mouth to your kid. I feel like you shouldn't be able to break your kid's chest trying to do compression. And your kid just blood everywhere and poops everywhere because oh my goodness. Oh, my son died a violent death coming from me because I tried to save him. Oh man. Yeah, look, I tried, y'all. I tried, y'all.
You did try.
I tried, y'all.
Do you carry? How do you navigate with the guilt?
How do you navigate? You don't. You don't. It's good days and bad days. You wake up, and if it's a good day, you flow with it. If it's a bad day, it's a bad day. Much better from last year. Why, it's only 1 year, 4 months.
That's right.
And as a dad, my kids are used to be me a Superman. And that time, I didn't have my Superman cap on. I couldn't save him. So I don't navigate. I just wake up. That's what I do. I wake up and I brush my teeth. Sometimes I have tea, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I have breakfast, I don't. But I'm here. That's what it is. I don't have a formula.
When you look back at that moment, when everything happened, and you sit and you think of that moment, what sticks with you the most?
Oh, his looks. His final looks.
And that was a parallel between when he came to
Yeah,
life.
because I knew he was dead. After 4 or 5 minutes, I knew he was dead because he gave me the same looks. I didn't need an ambulance or somebody to come and tell me. As much as they give you hope, I already told them. The first responder, I already told them is dead, is gone because he gave me those looks. So I carried that look. It's a beautiful look, but it's a sad look also because I carry it until the day I'm gonna die.
And you did not share after Zaza's passing. You did share that you reached a breaking point in your life and you couldn't see a way out.
Oh,
What was that point?
Come on now. I didn't want to be here.
And what drove you to that moment?
That's my baby. That's my baby. That's my 22-month baby. I wanted to go and give him a shower. I wanted to read his favorite book. I wanted to give him. That's my baby, y'all. It breaks you as a man. I've lost my parents, but this one was painful. This was painful than losing my mom. And people say when you lose your mom, half of you is gone. This was painful. It shouldn't be something that parents are burying their kids. My kids were supposed to bury me. It breaks you. Yeah. And if it doesn't break you, then you're not human. I was broken. I'm still broken. I'm broken pieces. I'm trying to put myself back together. 50% of me is gone. 50% is gone. It's never gonna come back. 50% of me is here because I have my son with me. I have Alex. But 50% that died the day he died, that's gone. That will never, ever, ever come back. So it's like a gift and a curse. So I'm here, but 50% is not coming back. 50% I have to rebuild. And that 50% I have somebody I have to take care of. Somebody who depends on me. Somebody I have to show life in the midst of grief. So I have to show him how to navigate all these things while I'm still dealing with my own.
That's right.
And I still have my sisters who are dealing with the grief because most of them came from the States. And the first time they met, their nephew was on the casket. My sisters have grief because they carried my son's casket. Because I refused anybody to carry my son's casket because I wanted to do it myself. But that day I didn't have any strength to carry my son. So my sisters carried my casket, and I will always be indebted to them because I could not do it. I wanted to do it as a dad. So it breaks you. Yeah. So like I said, 50 is gone, 50 is here, and that 50, hopefully one day it's gonna be enough for my son to be able to say, you know what, I'm drawing inspiration from dad, even in the midst of this. And I feel so bad for my son because for a 5-year-old, I had to show him, he saw his brother's death. My son has PTSD. Come on now. A kid has PTSD, he has flashbacks. And I have to navigate how to teach him how to be a man. When he's 4 years old, I have to bring him to Junior Hospital and say, now son, Zaza's not coming back home. Why? He's dead. What's dead? I'm like, He's not coming back. But why?
Did he understand?
He doesn't still understand. Yesterday, he asked me, when are we getting Zaza back? It's a constant. We talk about Zaza every day, every single day, maybe 100 times. Because that was his homeboy. That was his ride or die. That's why when daddy was being mean to them, he had somebody to go and confine in and making fun of daddy. Yeah, that's the sibling, Dad is the worst person, but so he doesn't have that. And then the concept of dad and mom are no longer together. And then it was only dad and the boys. So now dad is broken and Zaza is not here. So he's getting a broken family. And he needs to navigate it. But sometimes this is his journey he has to take. So I try to caution him not to have generational trauma to pass it to him. So that's why getting him help.
Yes.
He got counseling. It's going, more gentle with him right now.
But with the pain, with your pain, you were able to create Zaza's legacy. So what does this non-for-profit means to you today? What is it about today?
When and this is where I draw strength for my family, my sisters and my mom, where I can let grief ruin my life, or you try and turn your pain into a purpose. And once I decided, okay, why did the ambulance take 18 minutes, 20 minutes to get there? Why wasn't I offered counseling? Is it because of my skin color, or is it because of whatnot? I'm Australian, eh? Yeah. I don't pay my taxes. I'm one of y'all. Come on now. You start questioning all those things, because when you wake up, when your friends are not picking up the phone, not because they don't want to, because their life has moved on, and it should. But you have to carry all this and try to rebuild yourself. When you come home and you're a stay-at-home dad, you go home to a childless house. How do you navigate that? You wake up 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, you can't sleep. So you turn that pain into a purpose, and you start looking at numbers. And I got shocked that the numbers of choking in Australia.
Please enlighten us.
Oh my goodness.
You did share that about the numbers. It was quite shocking with the numbers that happened. So enlighten us about the data about choking.
The data is crazy. Hey, don't believe me. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
That's right.
2021, 2022, there were 1,210 deaths from choking. 40% were kids, 0 to 4. 60%, this is a funny thing, because people just think choking is from kids. 60% was from 65 to 100. So actually older people are choking from food, day-to-day items.
It's a global pandemic.
Yeah.
It is.
And I got data of the new data 2 weeks ago. Choking has increased 12% since Zaza died. Now the numbers are 1,412. Hospitalization, 1,300. Look at those numbers. So since Zaza died, 12% increase in death. Me talking to you, a kid passed away, 22 months old. His name is Henry. In Queensland. Passed away from choking. 2 days before I talk to you right now.
Wow.
Because choking is not sexy. It's not like cancer. It's not like this big item.
Do you reckon there's enough awareness?
Nah. Just look at your friends or talk to your friends. I ain't taking nothing from anybody.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about it. I've choked from sushi myself.
Yes.
Just put yourself in a way. Have you ever choked?
Yeah.
90% of people, yes. Or when you're trying to swallow something, a big piece of chicken, and because you are older, you can drink some water, try to push it down. You can save yourself. But I only talk about kids. So older people whose memory is starting to decline, who don't have this power to realize they're choking.
And that's how you took that awareness and pushed it through your platform, pushed it through your mission and purpose, and through LifeVac. So, and this is LifeVac here.
Yeah, this is LifeVac. This is
for people who don't know. Can you please explain what this is?
So my concept was when Zaza was dying, I carried him and I ran towards a defibrillator because I knew where the defibrillator was, but the wrong tool for the wrong job. And there's time for blame games and there's time for solutions.
That's right.
So I came to I was like, we've sent people to the moon. We've sent people everywhere. We can't have a device from choking. And then I came, after doing research and talking to people from the States, I came to find this device called LifeVac.
LifeVac.
So LifeVac it's an air clearance device, which if there's any foreign object, just doesn't have to be food. It can be marbles, it can be any, kids put anything on their throats, or anybody. So it creates a suction and it pulls it up.
Would you want to
Yeah.
help us?
Yeah, so
illustrate?
basically, if you've ever used a plunger,
Yeah.
it's basically that's what it is. So you have and this goes to St. John's because
Yeah.
you'll be tripping sometimes. You'll be thinking that I'm trying to take fast aid. Ain't nobody taking no fast aid away from. You do your fast aid. It's even here on the instructions. You do your fast aid, or somebody else is calling an ambulance. Once you've done all those things and you can do it, this is where LifeVac is. It's the last resort. And it's just a plan. It tells you what to do, which mouthpieces. And the good thing with this LifeVac, you have different mouthpieces from older people to kids, from 0 to somebody who's 100 years old, which is, this is a platinum, right? So you have different sizes. So it's not about one kid. So basically once, the instructions are very clear. It's been approved by a Therapeutic Goods Administration, TGA, in Australia. So it's a government entity
Yeah.
which approves this, which has gone through vigorous studies and
Assessment, scrutiny.
yeah. So
the whole thing.
it's an American invention. It has saved 4,300 kids around the world.
Amazing
And
stuff.
all kids and older people.
So this actually can be a lifesaver.
It's not
anytime.
gonna. It is the success rate. Anybody who's used it has survived.
So what are the challenges you have faced pushing this movement, and how has the city and allies helped you or responded to your advocacy with LifeVac?
If I can tell you that I've gotten so many no's. A lot of doors have been shut down on my face. You wouldn't believe it. But also I've gotten allies.
That's right.
City of Joondalup, shout out to the mayor, Mayor Jacobs,
That's good.
and Councillor Rebecca and Caitlin Collin. So I came and I realized there's a structure in Australia. And that's why us people, I'm saying us people, you know us. We don't vote, right? We don't like voting, right? We don't like using resources, but us, I'm talking about, let me go about us, right? There's help out there, y'all.
Yeah.
So I decided to go to the local chain, my counselor, which is
That's
Rebecca
right.
Pizzi, right? I went to her, told her my story, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we talked about it, strategies. I went to my state member of parliament, Caitlin Collin, chopped it out with her. Bam, bam,
Amazing.
bam, bam, bam,
Amazing.
bam, bam. Then I realized, okay, I've already told them a story. What do you want? LifeVac is in Australia. We do not know about it. So we started a meeting, strategy, whatnot. And we said, all right, maybe if we put it in the city of Joondalup. It's just a concept. You know, everybody says, oh, city takes time. It will take 3-4 years. I said, y'all don't know me. Y'all don't know me. I've lost my son. I ain't got no 3 years or 4 years. Are they going to listen to me? And they listen.
You did.
So Joondalup has been the first city in the world to install LifeVacs. So every time you see a LifeVac anywhere in the city of Joondalup, remember Zaza, y'all. Remember
this is
Dad.
a lot of incredible work. And so how many cities in total have LifeVac now in Australia because of Zaza's legacy?
All right. City
Just
of
to the
Joondalup,
That's right.
1. City of Starling,
Amazing work.
City of Vincent. All right. City of Swan and City of Wanneroo and City of Bassendean.
Amazing work.
They're 90% there,
Amazing.
right? Right?
Yes. Yes.
And we're talking on the background a lot of things. And I can say breaking news, which probably I shouldn't have said this because the ink is not yet dry.
Yes.
There's a big retail company in Australia
That's
who has a monopoly on every. I'm not going to say the name, you can put the dots
No.
together. There's a big retail company in Australia who deals with, specializes with kids' products. And it's probably around your neighborhood.
That's right.
They've just signed a contract to put LifeVac on their online stores.
What would you think, or what would you hope Zaza's legacy, what impact do you hope it will have in the community and in Australia at large?
Zaza is going to outlive me. He's already outlived me. People don't call me Brian no more. Call me Zaza's dad.
Zaza dad. Yeah. For every parent, for every child that is going through prevention, choking prevention Australia, that is really what it's about, their goal. And when you're talking about dreams and hopes and legacy, I can see and I can tell about your art. Another form of expression of how you live life.
I didn't know I can write poetry nowadays. I do some paintings and everything.
This is one of the amazing work. I would like you to just explain and indulge us in what this is about.
Yeah,
What
look,
this Mr. J.
when Zaza passed away, I kept on having this. So Zaza passed away, then 2 weeks later, and Zaza sent me this vision.
That's right.
And then I talked to my sisters, I talked to my friends, but I didn't put it on pen. I kept on saying, I'm having this vision. And I didn't get it. And you sometimes, Lord be talking to you on the background and you want to dismiss it, right? So I kept on dismissing it. I kept on dismissing, my bad. I kept on dismissing it, right?
Yes.
And the dream kept on coming. And I was like, I need to put this on pen and paper, right? So what happened was 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after Zaza passed away, I had this vision where I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm carrying Zaza. If you can see, this is Zaza.
Yeah.
And this is Alex.
That's
And mind you, I'm talking about March. Not January, February, March. I'm talking about April when we did this. Alex didn't have any dreadlocks. December this last year, Alex comes and said, Dad, I want dreadlocks.
Oh, wow.
So the vision, when I saw him, he had locks. And I put it on the painting.
Yeah.
And the vision has come through. And anyway, Zaza kept on telling me, Dad, you're going to carry me. And I didn't get that concept. Why am I carrying? Because I wanted to know, am I still dreaming? But he kept on saying, no, Dad, I'm dead. but you're going to carry me with you everywhere. But
That's it.
take care of my brother. And you're going to go through a rough patch. But you're going to lose a lot of your friends. And that's why all these rocks here, most of my friends who have lost. And that's the other thing about grief. You lose a lot of people. You lose a lot of people. You think you have friends? Wait until you go through grief. Lose your parents or lose your kids. You're going to lose people. So I've lost. So he kept on saying, a lot of people you know, they're going to turn into rocks. But in that midst of rocks, there are going to be a few people going to pop in and help you navigate all this journey with you. And he kept on saying, Dad, keep on walking to a brighter chair. And for me, that's why I put it. I was like, I need to put it this. And sometimes when I was telling people, they didn't get the concept. So he kept on saying, walk through the brighter chair. You need to break chains. There are people who are still holding you down. And if you can see down here, I still have a couple of people still breaking me, but you can see the chain is getting broken down.
That's right.
Right? And these are most of my friends. But also, if you can see here, I've come from a dark place. And I'm walking towards a bright chair. And the way I'm walking, it's getting dark, but also it's getting lighter and lighter and lighter. And so all these things, and people, I've met amazing people who have helped me. So that's what it is. I got a couple of more paintings, but this is
We can't wait.
just because of you. I don't share it outside, but I brought it. I think it's something that needs to be, and I equate this as my LifeVac, as Zaza's legacy. That's why I'm carrying him.
Yeah.
But I still know as a duty of a dad, I still have Alex that I still need to take care of. And we're walking, just walking to the mountaintops. The Lord sometimes be saying, I'm going to put you through these troubled waters.
Yeah.
But keep your faith, keep your faith, keep your faith, keep your faith, keep your faith. That's what I'm doing. That's
Amazing.
Amazing. This is only one copy. We ain't selling this. So and nobody should ask me how much this is going to be. I ain't selling this. And I don't want that bootleg. I don't want to see this on Tamu or some stuff like that. This is only one copy. Nobody should make, us folks, like a black person, like, I know I'm going to make my change with this. I'm a bootleg this. I'm going to put myself on the back. And so please, if you see this, report it to Facebook or I don't want no bootleg. There's only me and Zaza and Alex. So nobody should steal my creativity. I know, black people, we're going to share, but please leave this.
If Zaza was here with you right now, what would we end up wrapping up? So if Zaza was with you here, what would your message be to him?
Zaza is here with me.
That's right.
What do you mean? If he was, it was his physical being here,
physical being with you,
I'd be like, son, I tried, yo. I said, hopefully one day you can. If I die, and on my will right now, I want my family, or somebody's gonna be responsible for me, or even if it's Alex, or if I end up getting another family, which I said, another family.
Yeah.
But if I die, on my casket, I want people to put my favorite trainers on, put Zaza's toys with me, put his favorite books.
Yeah.
Because I have a date with him. I need to finish his storybook for him. I need to finish playing soccer with him. I need to give him a last kiss.
That's right.
So that's when I die, I want people to remember me with that. I have a date with my son. I have unfinished business. That's my dying wishes. So that's what I would say. Because I can't tell him right now, he's not here. Yeah. But when I get there, when I transcend to the next place, I have a date with him. Sorry, I'm just being a crybaby.
And we know he's as much proud of you the way we all are with the incredible work that you're doing. You've been able to save more lives through your awareness, your advocacy. You're doing so much more in the larger community and globally. And we just want to thank you for putting yourself, your story in the front line and bringing attention to a much needed crisis that is happening right now and affecting a lot and millions of Australians, everyday Australians, you know. So thank you for Zaza's legacy. Thank you for Choking Prevention Australia. And so thank you, Brian, for being here. Yeah. You're just an incredible human being. And we hope to hear more of you, so, and see more of the incredible work you're doing. So thank you for coming here.
Thank you. Yeah.
And if you want to support Zaza's legacy and Choking Prevention Australia, Brian's link will be below, and his socials and every way in which you can contact him will be below and run down through our socials as well as our website. So thank you for having us. This has been an amazing episode. And one thing Brian has taught us is that grief isn't just the absence of someone we love. It is the birthplace of legacy, purpose, devotion, and Zaza's story didn't end on that beach. It's now written in legacy, in legislation, in community halls, in magazines, in schoolrooms, and every parent Brian dares to reach. So to support Brian's mission and get with Zaza's legacy, please, Brian, let us know, or let the public and the audience know where to visit you.
Yeah, so, you know, social is everything at the moment. And like you said, we'll put a link there. But at the moment, it's just like on Facebook, Zaza's Legacy, Choking Prevention Australia. That's the best place to reach me on right now. Same as Instagram, Zaza's Legacy _legacy.
Yeah, that's it.
I know. Yeah, I'm still an old age, you know, all these socials and all that. And you know, yeah, if you want to reach me on my number is 0404 55 6609. Let's have a conversation, and let's get this God engineered stuff.
And remember, your greatest pain can become your loudest purpose. Until next time, stay human, stay brave, and keep daring to be different. Bye. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time.